Hi, I'm Ron Popeil, and I want to tell you about your new 3-minute automatic pasta maker. Now, these are very important things I'm going to talk about right now, and it's important that you pay attention, and this is before the instructional video. They're so important, I want to tell you about it first. In assembling your machine, this is how your machine comes together.
Step 1. Locate your mixing bin. This is it. Set it firmly on the base, push it back all the way, line it up firmly to the back where there's no space. And to remove the mixing bin, when you want to disassemble the machine, down here there are 2 nubs. Just press with your fingers and it comes easily off. Step 2. This is the faceplate. This is the kneading screw. The kneading screw goes through the faceplate all the way like this. Step 3, take your mixing blades. Your mixing blades come on this way, and as you can see, there's a groove in the kneading screw shaft. There's an arrow on your mixing blades that helps you line it up. But the arrow on your machine is white, so it's hard to see, but it will help. And this becomes the mixing assembly. It goes into the mixing bin like this, into this hex shaft hole in the back of the bin. And then to line it up, use the dots on the front of your machine. So it's important to line up these 2 dots together. They may be frosted on your machine or another color. And then turn it to the right until it lines up with the second dot, as you can see here. Now they're lined up. And this locks the faceplate on. And you'll also notice there's a U at the very top of the faceplate, and that is straight up. And that puts the mixing assembly in the bin. This is the 4th step, and this is the lid. The grate is always on the side, never on the front, never on the back. The lid goes in and lines up with the slot on the base, as you can see here, almost vertically. You slide it in and close it to a secure latch, and that's the lid. To remove the lid, press on both sides and up it comes, and it'll stay open for you. This is step 5. Select the pasta shaping die that you want to use. Put it in hot water in a cup for about 2 minutes. It'll make your pasta come out much easier. And when you're ready to put it on the machine, note the grooves in the back of the die. They match up to these little nubs on the front of the faceplate. You slip the die on, push it all the way on, and make sure your kneading screw is all the way in when this goes on. It goes on very firmly. The next step is to take the locking ring, as you can see here, and put it on top of the die through the threads on the faceplate and turn it until it stops in that position. To that, we add this item. This is your pasta cutter. It automatically cuts the pasta. You use it, there are 2 settings, as you can see here on the locking ring. The lower setting is for normal dies. The higher setting is for dies like macaroni that come out further. And you leave it like this, and then you can cut your pasta as it comes out. Your machine's assembled and you're ready to make pasta. Let me tell you some very important features about your machine. The switch on the side, never take it from mix to extrude or extrude to mix like that. Always stop it off. Always stop it off. We've added a delay switch to the machine to help you with this, and it will add life to your machine. So there'll be a second delay when you move it from off to mix or mix to off, okay? And never turn it to extrude when you have dry flour. Always mix your flour with the liquid before you extrude. Another great feature of this machine is it will tilt forward like this. It was designed to do this. And any pasta dough that was in the back of the machine will come forward, and you'll get almost every drop of it out. But be sure you don't block the drying fan vents here in the front. This dries your pasta. Don't get towels or pasta or anything in front of it. Before I tell you how easy it is to clean your machine, let me tell you about the noise it makes. It's a very powerful motor, and sometimes the noise will be louder and sometimes softer. It really depends on the kind of pasta you're going to make and the workload of the machine. So don't worry about it, it's very normal. On cleaning your machine, there's something I found in testing it, that after you finish making pasta, if you take the locking ring off and take the die off of the machine, you can let it dry overnight. You open the lid, the lid has to be open for disassembly anyway, and the air comes in, the pasta dries out, and it just falls off in the morning. That way, you can then put it in the dishwasher, or if you don't have a dishwasher, it's much easier to clean. And there's one other thing. There's a hex hole in the back I'm going to show you. In testing, I find that you really should keep this very clean. The kneading screw goes into it, and if flour builds up, it won't go in all the way.
I know what you've watched and listened to will be most helpful. Now please watch the video that follows and learn more about your exciting new machine. Welcome folks to Ron Popeil's R&D Kitchen. Here's the place that we do all our testing. It's the place that we help develop the Popeil pasta maker, the automatic pasta maker that makes pasta in under 3 minutes. Now during the infomercial, we weren't able to really get into the nooks and crannies of really how to use the machine and possible problems and solutions, and we're going to do that here today. And here with me again is Jan Gildersleeve, my assistant, and the gal who knows more about this machine probably than any other person, including myself. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's talk about the machine. I think the first thing we ought to do is tell them some of the safety tips about the machine.
The features.
Some of the great features about it, yeah.
This lid, when the lid is secured, the machine will keep running, and it'll stop when you raise the lid. It's a safety feature. It'll
Can we
stand
turn
up.
on the machine and let's
Sure.
just show them what happens when we turn on the machine?
The machine's on mix. You raise the lid.
It automatically stops.
And this is normal. This is a safety feature that's built into the machine. The other features, you have your cutter here for cutting pasta, and it's removable. It snaps out for washing.
And we'll show them how to use the cutter a little bit later. We did show them that in the infomercial, and that's a pretty simple feature.
Right.
When you're talking about the lid, though, did you want to talk about the design of the way we designed the lid on this? One side is for liquid.
Yeah, let me show it to the camera
Great.
here. It says add liquid here, and throughout this slot, you add your liquid. After you have your flour, the first thing you do is put your flour mixture into the bin. And then along this slot, you add liquid. There are extra grates on this side, and it says additional
Show it a
flour
little bit tilted that way.
or thick
Great.
liquid. So if you have a liquid that's really thick, like with egg yolks, and it won't go through here easily, you can also add liquid on this side.
On either side.
Yeah, either side. And the first thing you do when you're disassembling the machine for washing is take the lid off, because it has a safety lock, and that disables everything, and then you can start to clean it.
But in cleaning, our machine is dishwasher safe.
That's right. It's quite
Of course,
different.
now you wouldn't take the entire machine and put it in water. You're only going to take that area, the top portion, the clear plastic portion, and all the parts that come loose, all those parts go in the dishwasher. Never, never put the electrical base unit in water.
Right.
It's not very, very good for the people around, and if you touch it, you'll have the shock of your life.
From the machine.
Right.
The other thing we were going to point out, this is the only machine that has this feature where you can
Currently
add flour. Currently it is. And you can continuously feed this machine. We'll show you later how to do that, how to put your flour up here, put it back to mix, and it'll make more pasta and continue. You could feed a football team in an evening. Just keep making loads of pasta and extruding it.
Can I also mention one other thing? If I turn the machine around, you folks can also see the switch on here. Now we have it in an off position. I'm going to turn it into a mix position, and you'll see that the blades start to turn in a counterclockwise fashion. When you go to an extrude, when you want the pasta to actually come out, do not push the button all the way down. Please stop it in the middle first, wait till the motor stops, and then continue down to extrude. That's the proper way to use the machine, and you'll get years and years and years of life out of the machine if you use it in that fashion. Okay? I wanted to show that because it is so darn important.
And Ron, I wanted to mention that sometimes when you go into extrude, you'll see a flash here when the motor's changing directions. That's normal. It's just one quick flash, and if you ever see one here, don't worry about it. This is a very powerful machine. The motor is big, it's all contained in here, and that's the reason for the noise level. The noise you hear in your machine it's a very quiet for as much power as you have. It's also very compact. to take up less counter space.
And besides, we showed in the infomercial how they did Swedish meatballs and cookies and pastries and all those sorts of things. And when you can do those things, you really do need a very, very, very powerful motor.
Right. So let's talk about how it works, the machine itself.
Right. Are we going to make some pasta right now?
We're going to make some pasta right now.
Let's go through making pasta for the first time.
All right.
We'll do it a little bit slower than we did it in the infomercial, all right? You're
Yeah.
taking,
I'm
you're
taking a die
disassembling
off.
the machine right now.
Right.
That just pops right off.
There's a little where you can get your fingers behind and pull the die off. And
And aren't there grooves in here?
Yeah.
There are little tiny grooves right over in here that match up on here, so it makes it really easy to snap on. In fact, let me do it for you here. It snaps on like that. It's very, very, very easy. Take it off. And by the way, when you're making pasta, you can switch dies, and we'll show them how to do that
in the middle of a...
in the middle of a batch of making pasta. You want to disassemble the machine and show them the different parts?
Okay.
That's the lid,
Here's our lid.
right? That
it-
goes in the dishwasher when you're cleaning it.
And you have a bin, your mixing bin. There's two little parts right here. Easy to pull it off, and the whole thing comes out.
Isn't that wonderful how simplified that is?
Now, so the camera can see this. This unlocks and comes apart. This is your mixing screw. Goes right into the dishwasher, and your blades in the dishwasher with the other two pieces. And that's all there is to the machine.
Now reassemble it and show folks how easy it is to put together.
With the screw in here.
Right.
And you see the grooves you have here on the screw. There's an arrow on your mixing blades that helps you line that up so that it's an exact lineup. Like
That's
that.
perfect.
And you slip it right in here, and you line up these two dots and see the arrow pointing over to this side. That's here as an easy guide for lining it up, and you lock it in place. When it's locked in place properly, this little U fixture right here is connected to the lid, and that's why it holds it all in place with the lid. That's why you take the lid off first before you disassemble the machine.
Put it on.
Slip it right on and make sure it's firmly in place. It won't run if it's not. And so if you have your machine together and you try for power and don't get it, chances are your lid isn't in good or the bin isn't fully back against the base.
Now we'll put the
lid on.
We'll turn the machine a little this way, and now put your die that you're going to use. You're going to use spaghetti?
I'm going to make spaghetti, but I'm going
Great.
to heat it up first. I'm going to show you how to do that.
So before you put the die on, you put the die in some hot water. Okay, why don't you go ahead and do that?
I'm going to take some very warm tap water.
Just plain tap water.
And put the die in it.
How long does it have to set in there before you put it on the machine?
30 seconds. I mean, just not long, just a little while in warm water. There's no set time for it. And you can also spray the back of it with Pam or a little olive oil.
Pam, you mean the fat spray, so it extrudes better if you use a little olive oil?
Right. It helps the dough start coming out of the die quicker.
We do use Bertollo.
Oh, always.
Bertolli
Yes, we
olive oil.
always use Bertolli olive oil in our
right.
dies.
Right. They were most helpful in putting our recipes together here.
Yeah, we've tested a lot of them. So just
All
like
right.
that. See, that's warm
Why don't
already.
you snap that on?
And we put it on here. Like that. And then we put the nut on that holds it in place.
Pretty darn simple, isn't it?
Yeah. And then we have...
Our cutoff. That's the
Cutter.
automatic cutoff. That just snaps on.
And that
And
goes
now
like
we're
that.
ready.
Ready to make
Let's
pasta.
make a batch of pasta. It's important the first time you use your machine to use it properly, and we recommend that you only make half loads for the first 5 or 6 times that you use it.
And here's how you make a half load of pasta. Fill the pasta measuring cup up with flour. Pour it in a mixing bin. Take the pasta measuring cup, and in it you put 1 egg, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of oil, and fill it to the half load line with water or juice. Then mix it with a fork to where the egg is beaten. Here's how you make a full load of pasta. 2 pasta measuring cups of flour, and for liquid you use 2 beaten eggs, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of oil, and fill to the full load line with water or juice. All right, so I have in our measuring cup, this one is loaded.
That's not an ordinary measuring cup now.
Nope, this is the pasta measuring cup. And it shows you where you can make half loads and full loads. So if you fill it up once, you can make a half load of pasta.
And a half a load will serve how many people?
2 people.
So a full load will serve
4.
adequately 4 people, healthy servings.
Right.
Good.
So you just pour your flour mixture. And there we go. And you fill it up again because we're going to make a double load today. And you'll see that the top on your flour cup is made to cut off and give you an even measure. You just do it like this.
Oh, would you do me a favor? You're making gold medal all-purpose flour pasta right now.
That's right.
I'd like you to use some semolina flour. So rather than put this in and make a batch of that, I'd like you to mix both together on this.
Sure.
I know you didn't expect me to ask you to do that.
You want it half or just some?
Oh, you can put just some in. I just want the folks to use that semolina flour because it really gives it great texture the way I like it. And of course, the folks who purchased our machine do want to have, they already have a package of semolina flour in there.
Right. So you add the semolina with the
I'm going to do those things to
all-purpose
you
flour.
during this whole presentation. I'm going to fool you.
All right. Now we'll do the liquid that we
Okay.
put in here. I'll take
You need-
this off.
You need a couple eggs. I'll give you your eggs over here.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. So with a full load, we use 2 eggs.
Some Bertolli olive oil. Put some of that in. Just a touch of it.
Just a touch.
You can put it in
Anytime.
anytime. That's right. Great.
And as you can see, we're not up to the line yet. The full load line is right here, and it says full load of pasta, which remember is 2 full containers of flour, 2 pasta cups of flour. In your book, we refer to them always as pasta cups. So now we're ready to add our liquid to bring it up to the line.
And you're going to use water, right?
Water, right.
No, I don't want you to use water. You can use water and make regular pasta, but I'm going to go over here and we'll make a little spinach pasta, okay? Over here, we have a blender, and everyone's got a blender at home, and so many people have vegetable juice extractors. We even make a RON-1 vegetable juice extractor. I'm going to take some water here, and I'll just put a little water in my blender, okay? Enough to get it going. And here I have some fresh spinach. I'll put some of that fresh spinach in there, put the lid on, push the button. Now you're going to use this liquid in place of the water.
Right.
It's done. Now, use this instead of water.
Okay.
And you'll have delicious, nutritious spinach pasta.
There, I filled it right to the line.
Great. Let me turn the machine on to mix. And we're going to blend the semolina flour and the gold medal all-purpose flour together. That semolina flour really gives it the kind of crunch that I like when I eat it. You can start to pour it. It's simple, isn't it?
It's easy. Now I'm going to hold a little liquid back, and we'll see how the mixture is.
Okay. We're going to show the folks a little bit later, not too much later, when you add too much flour or too much liquid and what to do in those kind of cases. We're looking for those little tiny granules.
About the size of a pea. So just starting to, there.
A chickpea or a regular green pea? Chickpeas are a little bit larger.
Big, they're big.
Yeah.
Okay.
That looks pretty good, doesn't
All
it?
right, let's put it on extrude.
Put it on extrude. Let me give you a bowl over here so we can pour right in. And now you can make your pasta, as we said, in under 3 minutes.
We turned it off.
So that's absolutely the correct way to do it. While that pasta is coming out, let's talk about our water over here. You know, there's a couple schools of thought. We have some boiling water. One is that you add a touch of salt to make the water boil faster, and the other is to use a little olive oil, Bertolli olive oil, and that'll help keep the pasta separated.
When it comes out.
Yeah. Let me put the lid back on over here, and now we should see our pasta coming out. We're making nice spaghetti. Look at this beautiful, beautiful color of this spinach pasta coming out over here. Is that nice? Beautiful. All you need now is your sauce. And of course, you know, when we do our sauces at home, when we do a quick sauce, we use the Prego sauce, the best.
Because
You're not going to make it yourself at home, use Prego.
Because it's in there. What you need is in there.
Everything you need is in there is correct.
Right.
Now, I'll use the automatic cutoff, and at this point in time, the pasta is ready to go into the boiling water.
Right, let's turn it
Simple as
off
that.
so we can...
One more thing. Now we have a blower down here that takes out any excessive moisture as the pasta passes it. It's right down in this area right over here. You can feel it with your hand. Put your hand down there. Feel it? And that helps dry the pasta as the pasta comes down. Very, very clever feature.
Now, Ron, when you add vegetable juices, sometimes after it's mixed, if it's extruding for a while, you'll need to add a little bit more flour. Like this. You can see it's getting too wet.
Well, let's talk about that. There are two kinds of problems that can occur with the machine. One is if there's too much flour in there, it's too dry, and the other one, it's too wet. What do we do when, in fact, now we can see this here, and it's a little too much moisture in there. So, we devised this grating over here, and we can add some flour right now. Now, we could either leave it like this or put it back in the mix mold.
Right.
What would you like to do?
Just a little bit in here right now.
Okay.
Not much. Not more than by the tablespoonful.
All right.
Slowly.
And so that will give us a better consistency. We can see that the granules are really too tiny here, and they have to be a little lumpier than that.
That looks pretty good.
That looks like a pretty good consistency right there. And you
Yeah.
notice we never even stopped the machine.
Right. Get to going.
Simple.
That's it.
What a nice, let me just use the cutoff over here. Isn't that beautiful, folks?
And I'm sure
That is absolutely sensational. Pasta in under 3 minutes. That's all there is to the machine.
that's it.
Problem: the pasta dough is too dry and won't extrude. Solution?
Solution, we're going to add more liquid. As you
Okay.
can see here, it's too powdery, and it's not clinging together in small, tiny clumps.
And we're trying to get them to look like little tiny peas, right?
That's right.
You're going to put it in the mix mode.
And I'm going to add liquid through the liquid slot.
But you could add it on the other side if you wanted to.
You could.
Okay. And as soon as we see those little tiny peas that you talked about, then we can go right to the extrude and have our pasta done.
Right.
A little bit more.
Yeah, this is still too dry.
Yep, I don't see my little peas that I'm looking for. The more liquid you put in, the larger the little clumps begin. I would think it needs a little bit more. And now we should see a significant change from the powdery look into those little tiny clumps. Now we're seeing it. See those now?
Pea size.
Pea size. And now it's ready. You did that perfectly. Goes into extrude. And
Got it?
well, it's starting to come out. Here it comes. Problem is solved. Problem: the pasta dough is too wet.
Too wet.
How do you solve the problem?
All right. See how this is? I'm going to put it on mix. See the big lumps?
You turn it to the mix mode.
Yeah. You turn
And-
it to, and look at how big they are, if you can see.
And how should they look?
Well, they should be small, pea-like. So what we do, add flour. Add flour through the grates.
And so you want to find the same size as you would a little green pea.
That's right.
Okay, that's the consistency you're looking for.
And we're starting to get it already. See this? This is breaking up nicely.
Now sometimes
more.
you might have to open up the machine
That's right.
and take the pasta off the
Blades. If it
off the
sticks
mixing blade.
too much to the blades, let me just show you how to do that. If it
Okay.
sticks to the blades, let me show you this. And look, see these big lumps? You break them up. You
Okay.
break them up with your fingers and get them away from the blade so they can accept the flour.
Okay.
And this will happen if you accidentally put too much liquid in, or if the flour, if it was a rainy day and your flour already had a lot of moisture in it. Just like that. And then you turn it back on mix. And with the flour I've got, see, it's now going to take it.
And how long do we have to wait now before we can extrude?
You've got to wait till the flour is spread and you've got enough pieces in little lumps.
So you want to see lots of little
Lumps.
in this particular case, orange peas,
Yeah.
so the machine will extrude properly.
We're ready to extrude.
Right.
Just push the button, stop it, all the way down to extrude. And in a couple seconds here, we'll be able to see our pasta coming out. Problem is solved. Let's go on to our next problem.
All right, here we go.
Problem. The locking ring is jammed on and you can't get it off. What do you do?
Anytime that happens, you put it on mix mode. That's mix for a few seconds. Turn it off. Take the wrench that came with the machine, put it over the ring, and press down.
It's as simple as that. That's
And
pretty
then
easy. Problem
takes
is
it off.
solved. Problem. The dyes, when they get clogged up, are hard to clean. Even if you put them in a dishwasher, they won't be cleaned. We've provided 2 utensils with your machine to solve the problem. Jan, would you show them how it's done?
Sure. We have a small pick. You take the pick and push through the dye.
That's simple enough, isn't it?
That's right.
Do you dry the pasta at all or dry the dyes? And how do you do that?
You can. You can let it sit on the window ledge. You can put it in the freezer.
Great.
And then we have other tools. We have the 2 ends. As you can see, the 2 ends of the cutter.
That's our automatic cutter, and it has 2 attachments on there that also can be used for poking the dye clean.
Right.
Problem solved.
Problem solved.
Well, folks, that's all there is to it. You have the finest automatic pasta machine in the marketplace today, and I'm sure you'll get many, many, many good years and good use out of it. You'll make hundreds of varieties of pasta and so many different kinds of sauces. And by the way, if you develop your own sauce that you think is quite unique, send us the recipe, and if we ever use it, we'll send you a gift, and I'm sure you'll enjoy that as well. And from Jan and myself, and from the Popeil Automatic Pasta Maker and Ronco, happy spaghetti to all of you.
And let's eat.
And let's eat, right. Hi, I'm Ron Popeil, and I'd like to show you some very unique, interesting gifts for yourself or for your family or friends. One of them is, you may have heard of, it's the Inside the Eggshell Egg Scrambler. Now, I invented the Inside the Eggshell Egg Scrambler because I really didn't like runny egg whites in my scrambled eggs. I'm sure a lot of you out there don't like runny egg whites in your scrambled eggs or omelets. Of course, when we made French toast at home and you dip the bread in the egg, the white always sticks on the side. You folks who have breaded chicken, fish, or meat sometimes find the breading thin in one spot, thick in another, or non-existent at all. That's because the egg white attracts more of the breading than any other part of the egg. Most people beat an egg like this with a fork, and they end up with this slimy stuff in their scrambled eggs and omelets. Let me show you how the Inside the Eggshell Egg Scrambler works. There's a needle inside here, and I'm going to take the egg and just place it on the needle and just push down. And in 5 or 6 seconds, it homogenizes the egg yolk and white together into a perfect cream. And it's done. Now, of course, if you hard-boil the egg, you end up with a hard-boiled egg that has no yolk in the middle. Can you imagine having a party at your house and someone bites into a hard-boiled egg and there's no yolk? I guess the yolk is on someone. Let me show you how wonderful this egg looks right now. Absolutely perfect, as you can see. There's no slime in there at all. Of course, when you're making French toast, you'll notice that the bread absorbs all the egg. You get a better looking French toast and a better tasting French toast. Now, the Inside the Eggshell Egg Scrambler makes a great gift, a great wedding present, a great Christmas, Mother's Day, or Father's Day present. We sold them for $39.95. But because you're a Ronco customer, you can have this amazing product almost for half price, only $19.95. There's an 800 number on your screen. If you'd like to order one of these, I can assure you if you're buying it as a gift for someone, they'll be the only ones that have it on the block. Okay, $19.95. Please call the 800 number. It makes a great, great gift. Thank you. And for you folks who ordered the Popeil Automatic Pasta Maker, you all got the Popeil Bagel Cutter absolutely free. Let me show you how that works again, and I have another surprise for you. Remember, when you're using it, It works on any size bagel, onion roll, English muffin, or bialy. Place the bagel in there and just cut down. And of course it pops up from the bottom. But you know, the problem today with bagels is that even after you cut it successfully without cutting yourself, it does not want to fit in the toaster. So we invented something that solves that problem as well. It's our quarter. It quarters bagels, or makes the bagels into bagel chips if you so desire. Put the half a bagel between those two slats, and now you just recut the bagel. It's as simple as that. It pops right out, and now, as you can see, the bagel falls right into the toaster. These are going to sell for just $2.98. Call the toll-free number if you'd like to order a set for your bagel cutter, and we'll be more than happy to send it to you. And ladies and gentlemen, here's the granddaddy of them all, the Ronco electric food dehydrator. In the past 2 years, we've sold over 1 million units. They originally sold for $129.95. We sell them on television, as you know, for $60. We have a little special offer for you folks who ordered the Popeil automatic pasta maker. Let me tell you just a little bit more about the machine and why I invented the machine. Beef jerky. You know, when you go out and buy beef jerky in these little tiny packages, they cost $2 for just 1 ounce. That's about $36 a pound. I can show you, and I will in just a few minutes, how to make beef jerky for around $3 a pound when you use rump roast when it's on sale in the supermarket. I'll do that just a little bit later. Herbs and spices. On the bottom tray over here, we have some basil and celery, and you do parsley and onions. You know, when you go in the supermarket and you buy these little bottles, they cost so much money. With our machine, you dry your parsley, dried onions, dried garlic, dried celery. You do it overnight, and it costs a fraction of what it costs you when you buy them in the stores. All the foods you dry in this take about 24 hours. Beef jerky may take a day and a half, but there's no noise. It uses very little electricity. It's like having a 100 or 120 watt light bulb inside, although there's no light bulb inside. There's an American-made Cal rod heating rod in the bottom over here. It's American-made here in California. It's just a fabulous machine. It'll save you a lot of money, and it does a lot more things. Let me talk about soup mixes. You know, folks, soup mixes, when you buy them in a store, they come in these little boxes. They're loaded with chemicals. They're loaded with salt, and your doctor will tell you, stay away from lots of salt. With our machine, you dry all your vegetables in a day or a day and a half. Put those dried vegetables, and we have them in a Ziploc bag here. All you have to do is add boiling water, and you'll have delicious, nutritious vegetable soup. Hunters, fishermen, backpackers, and campers, this is a sensational product for them, the Ronco electric food dehydrator. Fruit roll-ups, you can make your own homemade fruit roll-ups for the kids. And the recipe book and instruction sheet will tell you how to do that. Drying flowers. Here we have some dried flowers that we made with our machine. And of course, when I think of dried flowers, they take about 24 hours to dry. Just set them on the trays. Popeil. On my property here, we have some purple bougainvillea. We dried it overnight. A little fragrance in there, and you have potpourri that costs you practically nothing. Just an amazing product. Of course, the two things that more people do with it other than beef jerky are banana chips and apple snacks. And I'm going to show you how to slice the apple with the Dial-O-Matic food slicer in just a moment, but just slice the apples, skin, seeds, and all, put them on the tray. 24 hours later, delicious apple snacks. Instead of giving your kids candy, give them banana chips and apple snacks. It's a heck of a lot healthier for them. I'm going to show you how to make that beef jerky now. And I'm going to do that very quickly because half the people that buy the Ronco electric food dehydrator, beef jerky machine, and homemade yogurt maker, by the way, it does make homemade yogurt, and the recipe and instruction booklet tells you how to do that. But half the people make beef jerky with it. And by the way, you can make turkey jerky and fish jerky with it equally as well. Let me show you how to do that right now, okay? Here I have some rump roast that we bought on sale. We give it to the butcher to slice thin. And most people don't know that supermarkets today will slice, major supermarkets will slice the meat for you for nothing. have them slice that rump roast to about 1/8 of an inch thick. Get some Kikkoman soy sauce. You probably have that in your kitchen already. We'll put a little soy sauce in here like so. You're going to save the leftovers anyway, so it doesn't make any difference how much you put in. And I like to use either a little liquid smoke or some brown sugar. It gives it that nice sweet taste that I like. You can use plain Kikkoman soy sauce without the sugar, and you can also use it without the liquid smoke if you so desire. Take the meat, put the meat in the solution, and you have to leave it here for about 2 or 3 minutes. That's all, because the solution will, of Kikkoman soy sauce and brown sugar will permeate this meat in less than 3 minutes. I'm not going to wait the 3 minutes. What I am going to do is just put the meat on the trays over here, and a day and a half later from now, you will have the most delicious beef jerky, fish jerky, turkey jerky that you have ever had, at a fraction of what it cost you in the stores. It's that simple to make. I told you also, folks, and by the way, it takes about a day and a half in the machine. That's all there is to it. I told you earlier that we had a special offer for you on this machine, and as you know, the machine originally sold for about $130, and we do sell them on television for $59.92, almost $60. Here, because you're a preferred customer of ours, because you purchased the Popeil automatic pasta maker, there are coupons in your package that I hope that you'll use. It'll take $25 off the $60 price. So if you'd like to have this $129.95 5-tray American-made beef jerky, yogurt maker, and food dehydrator, you're not going to spend the $60 that we had it on television for. Use your coupons. Your price is just $34.95. Call the 800 number that you see on the screen, and if you call it, we have that special surprise for you like we did in the commercial. We're going to give each and every one of you that tell a friend about it the Dial-O-Matic food slicer absolutely free. I'll remember, let me show you how that once works again. Turn the dial, and here I'm doing the apples. You notice that the apples come out all perfect in size. If you're doing banana chips at home, you can leave the peeling on and they'll just pop right out. Just zucchini squash, the same thing. You can, what a wonderful food slicer. These food slicers, by the way, sold for almost $40. I'm going to give it to you free with the Ronco Electric Food Dehydrator. Remember, you get the whole package as long as you use the coupons. You get instructions and recipes that come with it. You get the whole package for just $34.95. And don't forget, dry your apricots, your plums into prunes, do your grapes into raisins, peaches, pears, coconut. It's a fabulous gift. Order the product right now. Like those million people out there that have ordered it in the past 2 years, you'll enjoy it equally as well. Thank you very, very much. Call the toll-free number. Thank you again.